I just saw Antlers. The 2021, much anticipated, should have been a 2020, but got delayed because of COVID. And it was a story about a woman coming to grips with her own horrible abusive childhood by saving a child in an abusive family. And there was a monster in it too. Alright, so you know the story. I'm Richard, this is Random Street Theater. For every 1,000 subscribers I get, I do purchase one of these bracelets or the like from 4Ocean. 4Ocean pulls a pound of trash out of the ocean for me every time I do that. So, if you could comment on this video, hit that like button, subscribe, maybe share it with your friends. You'll be doing your part for a better world. Now, on to Antlers. Antlers, if you watch the trailer, is the story of a young boy essentially having a pet Wendigo. It is not that movie. It is as much not that movie as the movie Drag Me to Hell is kind of about eating disorders. I mean, it's clearly the main character of this movie is not the boy. It is the teacher of the boy who lived in Alaska, was sexually abused by her father, apparently left at some point, and then returned after the father committed suicide. All right. That is something of a spoiler, but it's the what that happens, not the who. So, yeah, that's her character. She is a very definitive character who is thrown into this situation. You find out early on in the movie that what is going on is that the father to this child was a coal miner. The mine shut down, and he turned to dealing meth to support his family. He also probably did some using meth, which, you know, is very much an analogy for what happens to him in the film. I mean, it's one of those things that, in a way, the relationship between father and child is you have an adultified child taking care of a person who is augmented by drugs, who is taken over by the evil spirit that is drugs. And this is more of an analogy than a reality in the film, but that is what's going on. I mean, what you have, this is very relevant to us in America. There's a bit of background that comes through. You know, there's this news broadcast that says, you know, we're trying to reinvigorate coal mining by focusing on mountaintop mining. And of course, if you know anything about mountaintop mining, it requires a lot less people than subterranean mining, which is, you know, bad. 5 people can mine a mountaintop, whereas it takes, you know, dozens of people to mine a mountain interior. So really, you know, it's talking about this industry that's in its death throes that used to fill this town with wealth. And I mean, here it is, the main character's brother, he has a lot, he's the sheriff. And he goes out there and he says, you know, I'm going to have to go and evict a family today. And, you know, I'm going to give them what few minutes I can to gather what belongings they can throw in their car if they have one. And then I have to kick them out in the snow. And that is so much more horrifying than the monster. The monster in this movie is well done, what little you see of it. I mean, I like the design. It was an excellent design. It really, really showed the fact of the consumption of the human spirit by these trying times of ours. That's what I got from this monster. Some people might say, well, I saw a Wendigo. Okay. No, you didn't see a Wendigo. You saw the spirit of hunger, the spirit of pain, and the spirit of what is eating this nation. And that spirit, having torn the flesh from a human being and wearing its skin. This is an analogy for like the people for the January 6th riot. is they were so believing in this person that it took them over. They believe that this is their salvation, the one person that is offering them hope. So this is a movie that... I hear something. This is a movie that speaks very much to the spirit of America right now. This is why we are so passionate about politics, because there is something horrible eating our nation. Children are going hungry. People are going insane. And that is what horrifies me. What truly horrified me in this movie, I mean, I tell you, there were scenes I started crying. And I'm not kidding you. There, like twice, 3 times during the movie, I actually started crying because what I was seeing, though there was no monster, just people in view, was so horrifying to me because it is so relevant. Now, if you want to dumb this down to it's just a creature feature, it is a pretty unique creature feature in that, you know, you have... Well, no, it's not. It's one of those things. It's always the child that knows first. Always the child that we should listen to. And I really have to clean up in here. But always the child we should listen to in horror movies. But again, you know, it's just one of those things when you look at this rock and a hard place situation that is absolutely real. Like, you know, the sheriff saying... Look, Child Services says that this dad here, despite the fact that I've cited him for being under the influence, and I've, you know, done everything I can to get him off the street because I know he's abusive and I know he's a drug addict, Child Services still deems him an adequate father. So you want me to what? Arrest this man and take away the only stability this child has in life? Take away the only family he has in life? Okay, that is horror. That is horrific. And then you have the child standpoint of, you know, whatever is in that room, whatever is beyond that barrier, whatever has become, that's my blood in there. That's my father. That's the only thing I have left. So I'm going to do everything I can to protect it. I'm going to kid myself. I'm going to lie to myself. I'm going to say that's still him no matter what happens because I love him. And it hurts to let go. And then you have the the teacher character who is, like everyone else in this town, forced to watch this atrocity of essentially the murder of a childhood, if not a child, play out. I mean... Look, I know this movie is not for everybody. It's a little, maybe heady for you folks. But I tell you something, Antlers to me is a must-watch. And I recommend, I think that we as Americans should watch this movie and see how it relates to our life. See the real horrors just juxtaposed by the movie horrors, and see if we can maybe understand our fellow man a little bit more. Okay? That's my take on the movie. Again, just my opinion. Love to hear yours. Comments below. I'm Richard. Salutations, plebeians! It is I, Stephen Miller, emissary and advisor to his dark orange lordship and the real President Donald Trump, reminding you to comment on and like this video, subscribe if you haven't already, or I will suck out your eyes and feed them to my 2 tarantulas, Meredith and Red Bill!